Welcome back to The Explainer. So if you're a fan of intergalactic lore, you already know the Omnitrix is absolutely packed with universe-shattering powerhouses. But today we're shining the spotlight on one of Ben Tennyson's most radically underestimated, yet fiercely resilient transformations. I'm talking about the green, gelatinous, gravity-defying alien known as Goop. So, Goop belongs to a species known as the polymorphs. They originate from a planet called Viscosia, which unfortunately is currently classified as destroyed. But what's really crucial for us to understand here is that Viscosia was an intensely hot world. Because Goop species evolved in such a sweltering, incredibly hostile climate, he possesses some absolutely unbelievable baseline environmental resistances. Like, you can literally drop this guy into an active volcano or a roaring inferno, and his gelatinous form will easily survive that extreme heat. It completely contextualizes why his base form is so incredibly durable right out of the gate. Now, what's really interesting about this is just how vast his power set actually is. Don't let the high-pitched, goofy voice fool you. Goop is a literal powerhouse. First off, you've got his extreme elasticity and shapeshifting, letting him bend, stretch, and deform into basically anything, from a bouncy ball to a lasso, but it gets so much deadlier. He can chemically alter his makeup at will, turning his body into a highly corrosive acid that melts right through solid steel, and then he can neutralize that acid instantly. He can spit this out as an adhesive trap or a continuous acidic stream. Combine all that with instantaneous regeneration, the ability to radically alter his own density, and total atomization survivability, yeah, you've got a virtually indestructible combatant on your hands. Just to prove my point about his god-tier survivability, check out this monumental feat. Goop literally survived being atomized across the entire water volume of the planet Pisces. He was scattered into billions of tiny pieces across a planetary ocean. And yet, because he's a single-celled organism with a decentralized brain, he didn't die. In fact, he was able to pull the continental masses of the planet's water right back together. This right here is exactly why being a liquid is often far superior to being your traditional, solid, muscle-bound brawler. So how does he actually use these powers tactically in a fight? Well, he relies on a highly effective three-step combat loop. Step 1. He uses his elasticity to wrap completely around armored enemies, binding their limbs so they literally cannot move. Step 2. He uses his amorphous shape to just pull under an opponent's foot, effortlessly tripping them up. And Step 3. As the enemy swings a weapon or strikes, Goop instantly alters his density, making his cytoplasm so dense and hard that it violently shatters metal weapons upon impact. It's brilliant. He easily outmaneuvers foes who rely purely on brute strength. Now we have to talk about the fatal flaw. There's a classic exchange between Vilgax and Ben that perfectly sums up Goop's biggest problem. Vilgax, who had stolen the Goop form, panics and yells, "What did you do? I can't move." And Ben just calmly replies, "I know, I turned off Goop's artificial gravity." It is such a brilliant moment because it perfectly illustrates Goop's absolute dependency on one single piece of external equipment. And that piece of equipment is the anti-gravitation projector. Remember how we said Viscosia was completely different? Well, it has a totally different gravitational pull than Earth. Because of that, Goop physically cannot function in standard gravity environments without this sharp UFO-like device hovering right above his head. The projector generates a corrective gravity field, which also allows him to fly at high speeds and levitate. The Omnitrix does generate this device for him automatically, but as we just saw, it is absolutely his Achilles heel. His weaknesses are highly specific, but devastating. If you manage to grab that projector or simply press its off button, Goop instantly loses his shape and turns into a helpless, slithering puddle on the floor. Beyond that, because he is a single-celled organism, he will literally be destroyed on a molecular level if he gets teleported. While he resists extreme heat, he can still be completely vaporized by super intense, concentrated energy beams. If you throw him into a high-speed centrifuge, the extreme spinning will separate him out into his base chemical compounds. And finally, despite having that decentralized brain, he is fully susceptible to hypnosis and sleeping dust. Well, that brings us to our final thought for today. Goop is the ultimate example of why you should never, ever judge a book by its cover. I mean, he looks like a gag character, just a slippery puddle of slime. Yet, as we've explored, his unique colloidal anatomy, his devastating acid, and his sheer unkillable elasticity make him one of the most formidable assets in the entire Omnitrix. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder. If a 200-pound, single-celled blob can casually take down galactic warlords and save entire planets from atomization, what other vastly underestimated heroes are just hiding in plain sight? Think about it. Keep exploring the lore, and thanks for joining me on The Explainer.